Hi everybody, welcome to the very first episode of my new channel called Look Left and Right. And on this channel we're going to do just that. And the reason why we're going to do that is because when we consume information off of social media, that media typically feeds us exactly what we want to see and pretty much nothing else. And we have to make the effort to look at the other side. So that's what I wanted to do, and then that's what I did. I started to realize when I was looking at my social media that that's what I was being fed. Everything that was coming from one side of the political spectrum and one view. And so I wanted to take the time and search out the other side. So what did I find? Well, the other side has got some good ideas, right? Just like my side, the other side does. And what does that make me? Well, I think I used to lean left. I think I'm switching more central. I think I could call myself a centralist, but I digress. So, what was I going to talk about on my very first issue? Well, being that I'm up here in Alberta, Canada, I thought, hey, let's talk about the blockades, the Freedom Convoys. So let's go back a bit. And 2 years ago, we start this pandemic, and by the summer of 2020, we're shutting down the border, right? And the only people that can go across that border are long-haul truckers, because we needed them. We needed them to bring the goods we needed back and forth. People were going to lose their jobs if we didn't, and we were going to starve if we didn't. So these truckers were really, really needed. And so if you think about it, well, this virus is brand new, spreading like wildfire, killing people. We're allowing the truckers to go back and forth over the border because we needed them to, right? So here we come. 2021, all of a sudden, President Biden and Justin Trudeau decide that they're going to shut the border down to unvaccinated truckers. Now remember, 85 to 90% of truckers are vaccinated. I should back up a little bit. I'm sure people out there going, what do you mean, President Biden? Up here in Canada, we have to understand something, that it wasn't Justin Trudeau preventing our truckers from entering the United States. That was the United States. That was the president had signed an order to prevent truckers who were not vaccinated from going across the border. And Trudeau did the same. He did it for coming into Canada. President Biden did it for going into the States. So as much as the Freedom Convoy was protesting this, there was an aspect of this that the Canadian government had no control over, and that was entering the United States. That's not up to the Canadian government. That's up to the U.S. government. They decide who comes into their country, not us. Okay, so let's go back. So you've got 90% of truckers who are vaccinated. All of a sudden, we're saying that 10%, you either have to get a shot, put something in your body that to date you haven't wanted to do, or just haven't, or you don't get to work. And you know what? It's not just the truckers. There's a lot of people out there right now who have lost their jobs because they've decided that they didn't want to put in their body something that they didn't really maybe understand, believe the science, believe what they were hearing. So they said no. And employers everywhere, including my own, said to these people, you either get the jab, you either put this in your body, or you're not going to have a job. And is that right? Well, there's some of you out there right now going, well, yeah, of course, damn right that's right. Of course it is. Well, I thought so too. I had the attitude of, hey, we need to protect society. We need to do what's right for everybody, right? So let's get on it and get everybody vaccinated, which is a whole other thing. Just nobody, no statistician out there, no science, nobody is going to tell you you can get 100% of the population vaccinated. As up here in Canada, we're up at around 85%, I think, or something like that, with at least one dose. And down in the States, they're in around 75%. 90% is really, really good. You talk to anybody in the scientific field, they will tell you if you can get your population to 90% vaccinated, that's awesome, right? There's no way you will get your population at 100% vaccination. It's never happened, never will happen. And that kind of makes sense. Not everybody's going to do what the government tells them to do. Some people aren't going to believe. So anyways, so when we needed the truckers and we had no vaccine, and the virus was spreading rampantly and killing people, they could go back and forth over the border. All of a sudden we have a vaccine. We've got the Omicron variant, which doesn't actually seem to be that bad from what everybody says. And all of a sudden we're saying to these truckers, get a vaccine. Or you're not going over the border, you're not working, can't feed your family, can't pay your mortgage. Oh, and you cannot apply for employment insurance. You're going to go destitute. Unless you've got millions of dollars in the bank to survive on, you're going to go destitute. Now, some people might agree with that. I don't. I think that's literally putting the gun to your head. Right? That's literally saying you get a shot or else. And it's a dangerous place. It's a dangerous place when we let the government do that on any level. We have to draw the line somewhere. And the line has to be at our own bodies. The government can't tell us what we can and cannot put into our bodies. We have to, don't you think? Right? Don't we have to stop it somewhere? Now, I chose to get the vaccine. I chose it. That was my choice. These people chose a different choice. And frankly, they are being punished for that choice. And is that right? And yes, we do it to protect society. Okay. And I don't disagree with that. I think we all, the ones that have gotten the vaccine and believed in the vaccine, I think a lot of us did it for individual reasons. I know I did. I didn't want to get sick. It wasn't about saving society. It was about me not getting sick. I didn't want to get a deadly disease that could possibly put me in the hospital and kill me. Right? So I wanted to make sure, just like any other vaccine, I didn't want to have polio. Right? So I got the polio shot when I was a kid. Or frankly, my mom got me the polio shot when I was a kid. But you know what I'm saying. Same idea. I didn't do it for the grand design. I did it for myself, and I believed in it. These people on the other side, they believe something different. And we're putting the gun to their head. The government is putting the gun to their head. Their employers are putting the gun to their head. And we have to really ask ourselves, is that right? And step back. 2 months ago, I would have said, I wouldn't even bat an eye. I had people who I know where I work who aren't there right now because they were told they couldn't come until they got vaccinated. I didn't think a thing about it. But yeah, damn rights. Go get vaccinated. But they believe in what they believe as strongly as I do. And so did the truckers. They believe that it's their right not to be vaccinated. And frankly, it is. And they shouldn't suffer the consequences of that decision. It is a decision, but we have the right to autonomy over our own bodies. Don't you think? If we start to allow the government to have autonomy over our bodies, to tell us what we can and cannot do with our bodies, where does that end? Right? So we do things to our bodies on an individual basis that are bad all the time. Alcohol's a carcinogen. Smoking, carcinogen. They're not sure about vaping yet. Could be. They don't know yet. Right? All those things are regulated. You know, look at this face. Not the chubby face. I could probably eat better. Should the government tell me to? Good question. Where do you draw the line? And for those of us who at one point in time said, damn right, everybody should get vaccinated, doesn't matter what you think. Well, what happens when the government wants to put something in your body that you don't agree with? Because we set a precedence today, the government could. That the government could turn around and tell employers that we're going to set vaccine mandates, and if you don't get a vaccine, look and think of all the federal employees right now. If you don't get a vaccine, then you don't get a job. You don't get a job, you can't feed your family, can't pay your mortgage, you're going to be on the street. Tell me that's not a gun to your head. Right? Just putting that out there. Anyways, that's my first inaugural, that was a big word, looking left and right. This will be an opinion piece. Absolutely leave your comments. Try and keep them civil, right? I encourage you to leave your comments. Press a like, press a subscribe if you like what you're hearing. And let's all take the time really to look at the other side. And we might not hate what we see. And I've always said the truth always lies in the middle. Somewhere in the middle. It's never left, it's never right. It's always somewhere in the middle. So on that, I'll bid you all a good night, and I will see you in the next one.